Well,
I'm not
we always
negotiating that.
joke and say that the handler end of the leash is the dumb end of the leash. Right? Like,
Fair.
but
Yeah.
it's the truth because the dog is always smarter than us. And the
Yeah.
problem is that a lot of these canine handlers, they come in to this life of canine. Most of them don't know shit about dogs.
Fair.
They don't understand dog behavior. They don't understand dog psychology. They don't understand anything to do with marking behavior. Like they nothing, right? So like
Yeah.
the hardest thing about a training academy for any agency is getting a green dog and placing a green dog with a green handler. Because now the dog is learning alongside the handler, right? So most of my suggestions, if they have somebody that has no fucking background in dogs, has no
Yeah.
understanding of dog behavior, psychology, whatever, the best bet is to get a dog that's already finished, right? So basically, it's already a vehicle put together, and it's
Yeah.
just saying, hey, you're now the fucking driver of this Lamborghini. Let's get you on the track, right? Like that's
Yeah.
basically what I tried to tell agencies. Now, if it's a second time handler or somebody that has dog history, like me, that has had some time around dogs their whole life,
Yeah.
okay, I could probably feel more comfortable because the hardest thing is the most important thing in dog training is not consistency, it's timing. And if you are not a fucking sharp person and you can't pick up on something quicker than 2 seconds, you've already lost opportunity in the training for training purposes, right? So that's the hardest thing when it comes to a lot of these academies when you're dealing with green handler, green dog. It's
Yeah.
timing's fucking off, which means your consistency sucks, which means the training in general is just shit. And then these agencies get these dogs where they're like blaming the fucking trainer. This hasn't happened to me. I'm just talking out of experience from
Yeah.
another academy that's local. They want to blame that fucking trainer, and it's like, whoa, wait a second, time out. Who selected the dog? Who selected the handler? And then, the only third piece of that puzzle is the trainer. So you're talking, 1/3 of the equation. That's what you're going to blame?
Yeah.
Right. Right. That's
So
interesting.
yeah.
Even when you're talking about like training the at home dog, those are usually the worst. Like you were saying earlier, Dr. P ruins all the training, and I can personally, we
Yeah.
have two dogs. My husband, he's like he lectures them. It's the funniest thing in the world when they do something. Listen, guys, you're doing, and it's like he doesn't speak English, right, babe?
Yeah. Well, so like I'm dealing with something right now with a local agency. I'm not going to say who,
Yeah.
but they're like kind of dicking the officer around with his second dog. It's going to be his first dog came down with DM, so they had to force retire the dog. Had spinal issues, which is genetics, right? This is
Yep. Yep.
got to know where the fucking dog comes from, and that dog came from Europe, and was fully trained when they got it, but they're kind of dicking him around with getting a dog, and the the admin wants to pick the dog, but they're not fucking dog people.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest problem with all these agencies is that they have these people involved that have never been a fucking dog person their whole career.
Interesting. Yeah.
Why wouldn't
If
they
you think
have?
about it, I don't know about your agencies, but like how many of your administrators were dog people that might have been the supervisor of the unit?
Yeah. Well, federally, yes, I can 100% attest to that. 100%.
None?
Yeah.
They're just
Well,
supervisors.
it's the
Because most
biggest
people go
problem
into
I would say in
canine and
Connecticut.
retire. It's a waste.
I would say the biggest problem in Connecticut is they have these supervisors that have no history in canines that are
Yeah.
making the decisions. Instead of relying on either an officer that is a second canine handler, right, second dog handler, or relying on outside services to help, right?
Right.
And I would honestly like so when Willimantic came here to interview me to be their new dog person, right? Call me whatever it is, vendor, trainer, academy, location, because I fucking did it all for them, right? When their lieutenant came here, he looked at me and goes, "My boys are telling me that you're the best, but why haven't you put a dog on the road yet?" And I looked at him. I said, "Well, it's not that I haven't put a dog on the road yet. I've helped other people put dogs on the road, but the problem is that you guys," and I said, "You guys like general, like law enforcement, are so used to doing shit the way that you're used to doing it all the time, and you're so afraid to go outside of the norm because of the possibility it might not work." Right? It's
Right.
just comfortable to keep doing it the way you've been doing it. And I looked at him. I said, "Listen, I only need one person to believe in me." And
Yeah.
I said, "Do you think I'm going to give you shit dogs? These are my first resume builders."
Yeah.
You think these dogs are going to go on the road and be bad? That's my business is tied to it. So,
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem in law enforcement with these dogs too, is that these agencies get so tied up in the way they're used to doing things that they're so afraid to look. There's a broad spectrum of opportunity out there to be able to go out to. And I think the biggest problem too is in law enforcement in general, we kind of closed the door. And I'm saying we, like I'm not involved in it anymore, but when I was a cop, I saw it a lot. Like you close the door to civilian sector.
Yeah.